So let's sit up nice and tall. Just get comfortable. And start to settle in here. Just get into a comfortable seated position. You can start to check in here. Close your eyes. Start to slow everything down. Start to follow your breath in and out. Just notice the breath as it comes in and out. Relax your jaw and just soften your temples, soften your face. Take your shoulders up to your ears, float them back and then down. So lift the chest. Then take your hands on your knees. We're just going to gently pull on the knees and draw the shoulder blades toward each other. So we're opening up the chest. The tailbone roots down into your mat or into your block or blanket. The crown of your head rises up toward the sky. So we're feeling a nice big opening through the spine, lengthening through the spine. And then take your hands, we're gonna do some mental centering. Try to get out of our heads a little bit today and we'll quiet down the spiral of thoughts. Let's take our hands behind our ears. You can cup your hands. And then take a big breath in. Now as you exhale, collect your thoughts. Bring your palms together. Thumbs will come right to your third eye, between your eyebrows. Take a breath in here. And then exhale. And take your thumbs to your heart center, offering your thoughts to your heart. And we'll do that 2 more times. Hands behind your ears, breath in. Exhale, quiet the mind. Breath in here. Exhale. Offer those thoughts to your heart. And one more time. Breath in. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, hands come to your heart center. Just stay here for a breath or 2. So just an effort to shut down all that chatter, getting out of our head and leading more from the heart. And then take your hands down. You can place them on your lap. And we'll take our chin into our chest. And take your shoulder blades toward the floor. You can maybe place your hands behind your head and deepen that stretch in the back of your neck. Just feel a nice big stretch in the cervical spine. But don't force it. And then release. We'll start to take our chin parallel to the floor, and then we take it up toward the sky. And then take your collarbones toward the floor. So again, just feeling a nice stretch in the front of the neck. Looking up toward the sky. Just keep everything else up. Shoulders still stay back and down. We're still opening up and lifting the chest. And then bring your chin parallel to the floor. Sit up nice and tall. Now carefully turn and look over your left shoulder. Shoulders stay back and down. Crown of the head rises up. Tailbone roots down. And even here, we're lifting the chest. Bring your chin back to center and then look over your right shoulder. You can just don't force anything. Go where you can go. You might notice that one side is a little bit more open than the other. You might have a little bit more range of motion on one side than the other, and that's okay. And we'll bring our chin back to center. Let's take our right ear to our right shoulder, and then walk your right hand over to the right. Now really press down with your left sit bone. Let's reach the left arm up and over. Now press down through the left sit bones, really lengthening here from the rib cage down to the pubic bone. Lengthening, opening through the side body, really feeling that deep stretch. Using your breath. And we're carefully, but with control, going to come up. All right, we'll do that on the other side. So we'll take the left ear to the left shoulder. We're going to walk the left hand out. And then inhale, reach the right arm up and over. Pressing down and away with your right sit bone. So again, feeling the stretch right here from the ribs down through the pubic bone as you press into your mat or your blanket. And then with control, come up. Now take your right ear back to your right shoulder. We're going to walk the right hand out again. And this time we'll take the left arm out to the side and then back and maybe down, somewhere back there. You find that sweet spot. That's going to be different for each one of you. But we're looking for this stretch right here in this upper trapezius muscle. So just take the arms usually back, lower than your shoulder, down toward the floor, and then kind of back. And don't force it. This is one where you could really kind of go a little too deep. We're just really starting to open up through the neck, the shoulders. Take your right hand onto your right ear. Carefully bring your head up. Just sit here for a breath. Check in. Notice all this space that we're creating. And then we'll go to the other side. So left ear toward left shoulder, walk your left hand out. And then we take the right arm out, maybe back and down. And even here, we want to keep that right sit bone rooting down. So we don't want to be popping up. So if you kind of feel like you're leaning over too much and your hips coming up, you can put your hand on a block or a book, box. Just feel that nice stretch in your neck. And then take your left hand onto your left ear. Carefully come all the way up. And again, just notice how all that feels. All right, let's switch our legs around. We've been sitting here for a little while. And we're going to twist over to the right. So take your left hand onto your right knee and your right hand behind you. Inhale, grow your spine long. Feel the crown of your head rising up toward the sky. And then as you exhale, twist. Inhale again, lengthen. Exhale and twist. And one more time. Inhale, grow your spine nice and long. Rise up to the sky. Exhale and twist. And then come back to center. And we'll twist over to the left. So right hand come on your knee, left hand behind you. Inhale again, feel your spine grow long. Come up on the fingertips of your back hand and use that to lengthen through your spine. And then as you exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more time. Inhale, feel your spine lengthen, grow long. And then exhale, twist again. And then come on back to center. And we're just going to go one breath, one movement through that. So we're going to inhale, twist over to the right. Exhale, twist. Inhale to the left. Exhale, twist. Inhale over to the right, lengthen. So with every inhale, we lengthen, and with every exhale, we twist. Inhale, exhale, twist. And one more time each side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, and exhale, twist. And then come on back to center. All right, let's take our legs out in front of us. So legs are nice and long, feet are flexed. And we'll take our hands, just take them beside you, come up onto your fingertips. Press through your heel. Now, if you're not sitting up on something, if you feel like your back is rounding, come up onto a support. So we want the spine to be nice and long. All right, so let's flex our feet toward our shins, lift the chest, reach through the crown of the head, open the chest. And the gaze is just really down your nose. So we're looking straight ahead. It's just a drishti down the nose, right? So it's just kind of a soft gaze. Relax, draw. One more breath, press through your heels. Really engage your legs. Draw your kneecaps up to your quads up to your hips. We get the internal rotation of the legs. Lift the chest. And then release. So let's come on to our backs. Keep a strap nearby. And then also get a block. I'm going to use this one. So we're going to take our block in between our inner thighs. And then we're going to lie all the way down. I'm sorry, if you're already down in your back, get your props first. All right. So we're going to take our block and we're going to squeeze it into our inner thighs and our thighs into the block. And then reach your arms overhead. Flex your feet. Hook your thumbs together. Lift your chest. Now take a big inhale. And as you exhale, press through your heels, squeeze into the block, lift the chest. Inhale, release. Now switch the grip of your thumbs. Inhale, exhale, press and reach. Lift the chest. And inhale, release. And one more time, switch the grip of your thumbs. Inhale. Exhale, full body stretch. You're feeling the sides lengthening, opening, but the inner thighs pressing into your block. And then release. All right, you can move the block over to the side. And then we'll get our strap. So we're going to take the strap around the right heel. And then take the left leg long. And if you do have a wall, I'm actually going to go to the wall. I'll bring my mat a little closer. So if you do have a wall, you can scoot a little closer to the wall and take your left foot to the wall. Now, all of you know this. We've done this. I don't think there's anybody here who hasn't been in a room with me. So we've done this number of times. So we take the left foot to the wall. And then we're going to take our elbows down onto the floor. So it's a little bit different than we're used to. We take the elbows down onto the floor. The triceps are going to be pressing into your mat. So we lift the chest here. And now the left leg is pressing into the wall. The left pinky toe is pointing up and that leg is strong. And then we're going to press the right thigh bone away. Lift the belly. Belly's going to draw up toward the chin. And then we're pulling the strap down into our heel. And then we're pressing our heel into our strap. So lift the chest. Right thigh bone presses away. That left leg is strong. So if you're not at a wall, that's fine. We've been doing it most of this year without a wall. But with this practice particularly, I like to use it. All right, so let's bend the knee, remove the strap. We'll switch sides. So the right foot will go to your wall, or just go long and strong. We'll take the strap around the left heel and take our triceps, our elbows down onto our mat as we set up. So lift the chest and scoot the shoulders underneath your chest. Take your right leg long and take the pinky toe up. So when your foot's at the wall, it helps the foot from laying out to the right, right? We get a little bit more control, and we really want to feel that right knee dropping down toward the floor. So the right inner thigh is rotating down, like there's a block there, right? And then we're pulling the strap on the left heel, pressing the heel into the strap and taking that left thigh bone away from our chin. Lift the chest and breathe. And one more breath here. And then let's go ahead and release that. Take your leg long. And let's take another full body stretch. Reach the arms overhead. Press through your heels. And then make your way over to one side. And come up onto your hands and knees. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. Now take your tailbone towards your knees, push the floor away from you, and then look up at your belly button. Now turn your tailbone up toward the sky. Oh. And if you have a cat, your cat uses you as a bridge. Reach the crown of your head up, broaden across your collarbones. And then let's go back into cat pose. Push the floor away from you. Look up at your belly button. Inhale to cow. And one more time. Exhale to cat. And inhale back to cow pose. All right. Now let's just turn our toes under, lift up into downward facing dog. We're not going to stay here long. We're just going to make our way into a forward bend. So come here, hang here for a couple breaths. Just let your arms dangle. Maybe you can hold on to your opposite elbows. Take a breath in. And then a big exhale out. Any of that chatter that's left floating around in your head, let's let all that stuff go. Take another breath in. Exhale, release, let it go. Inhale. One more time. Exhale. Take your hands back by your hips. Come all the way up. So let's get our chair. You can take your chair on your mat. If it's slippery and sliding, if you're on a carpet or something, you probably don't need to move it. I just, on my hardwood floor, it'll slide. For this particular one, sometimes we want them to slide, right? All right, so we're going to take our hands onto our chair and we're going to step back. So this is another variation of downward facing dog. So just take your feet back, reach your arms forward, and feel this nice stretch here. So the tailbone is pressing down. We're taking our tailbone down toward our heels. Pubic bone towards your belly button. Draw the shoulders away from each other. Couple more breaths like this. I'm just going to check in. One more breath. Pubic bone toward your tailbone, actually. I said that backwards. Pubic bone toward your tailbone. And then walk towards your chair. Come on up. Take a breath here. So we're going to go through flow here. We're going to go from down dog to plank. So let's come back into that. You can watch me first if you want. We're going to step back into that down dog. Taking our pubic bone toward our tailbone, lengthening through the side body. And I have a cat right here, but I think I can do this, or I can move her. All right, now we're going to shift forward to plank. Yeah, she's not going to be in the way. So we're going to shift forward to plank. So we're taking our shoulders over our wrists. Just do what you can do here. We're just looking straight ahead. Looking straight ahead. You're going to feel your core activating. And then let's come back to down dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold it here. Lengthen through the side body. Lift the chest. Tailbone presses toward your back of your mat. Pubic bone presses toward your tailbone. And then let's shift forward to plank. Hold it here. Draw your navel in. Feel the core activating. Exhale, down dog. Let's do that 2 more times, just flowing through. Come forward to plank. And then lift into down dog. Shift back. Exhale, come forward. Hold it here. Inhale. Exhale. Come on back to downward facing dog. And then walk towards your chair and come up to Tadasana. All right. So we're going to work on Warrior 1. We did this last week with this chair. So we'll start with let's take our right foot and we're going to take it up onto our chair. And you can kind of adjust yourself. We want a wide stance. So take your left foot back, turn it out. And then we're going to come up. Your hands right now can just be by your side. All right. So let's take the left hip forward. And the right shoulder's going to draw back a little bit. And hands can just be by your side for right now. And then we're going to shift forward. So we're going to shift forward. So we're feeling a big stretch right here. We're getting the internal rotation of this left leg. I'm invading Lily's space. Little does she know I'm going to move her in a second. She doesn't like it. All right. So we're shifting forward. And then if you want, you can reach your arms up. So we don't want to overextend. We don't want to overarch the back. We just want to reach up nice and straight. And we're shifting forward. So there's a lot of work going on in this standing leg. Good. Knee comes over the ankle. And then carefully straighten the leg. Place that leg down. Take a breath. All right, we're gonna do that on the other side. So I'm gonna take my left foot on the chair. Right foot's gonna go back and out. You want, again, a wide stance here. So the right toes are turning slightly out. You can just have your hands on your hips. Take that right hip forward to get that internal rotation of your right leg. And then we come forward. So adjust yourself so you're feeling a big stretch in this back leg. Take that right hip forward, the internal rotation of that right leg. So it almost feels like you're readjusting that back heel, but we're not really moving it. We're just taking that right hip forward. And then if you want, you can reach your arms up. Shift forward. Lift the chest. Zip up. Take the low belly up towards your chin. And then come out. Carefully straighten the leg. Place your foot down. Take a breath here. All right, we're going to do that one more time on each side. So the right foot's going to come up. We kind of adjust our stance. So you might need the chair to help you. All right, hands on your hips. Left hip comes forward. The left foot toes are pointing out slightly. Chest stays lifted. We're going to shift forward. And then reach the arms up. Lift the chest. Strong standing leg. We're really rooting down through the left foot. We're taking that left hip forward. We're getting the internal rotation of the left leg, drawing the kneecap up so that back leg is fully engaged. And then carefully come out and switch sides. So the left foot's going to come up, right leg back. Hands on your hips. Take that right hip forward, lift the chest, and then lean forward. Stay here or extend your arms. And again, don't overextend. We don't want to back bend. We're just stacking the shoulders over the hips. Rising up, just looking straight ahead. But that back leg is super active, right? It should feel super strong. Drawing the kneecap up towards your thigh. Engaging the quads. Rooting down through that back heel. And then come on out, straighten your leg. And let's come back into down dog at the chair. Press away. Take your pubic bone towards your tailbone and lengthen. One more breath. And then come ahead again with your feet and come all the way up. Take a breath. Okay, building a little heat here. It was cold earlier. All right, so now we're going to do pyramid at the chair. So you can take we don't need as big of a stance. You can take the left leg back, right leg forward. And we'll take our hands back on our chair. So our shoulders should be, they're probably not going to be completely stacked over the wrists, but it's kind of somewhere there. And then the left toes are turned out, and then we're taking that right hip back. So and then again, just like with that, we were doing it with Warrior One, we're going to draw that left heel, like isometrically draw the skin of your left heel back. And then just stay here. Lift the chest. The gaze is just straight ahead. Lift the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Draw that right hip back. And then step your left foot up. We're going to switch sides. So set up the feet. The left foot's forward, right leg's back. Right toes are slightly turned out. And then we're drawing the skin of the right heel back. That helps get the internal rotation of the right leg. And stay here for a few breaths. I'm the only one home. Everyone just left for baseball, so I have to go let Molly out. All right, stay here for one more breath. And then let's step the feet together. Come all the way up. Okay, so let's turn so we're facing the long edge of our mat. So we're gonna do one we didn't do last week. So let me demonstrate first. There's a bunch of options here. Lily's really gonna be in my way for this one. Let me see if I can do this without her there. So we're gonna take the strap around the right heel. We're gonna place our foot on our chair. And then we're gonna step out. So this is one option right here. Now, if this is easy for you, you can turn, I'm gonna just go this way because you can turn your chair around. You can do the same thing. I would suggest putting a blanket if it's like this, put a blanket on your chair like this. And then the same thing, we'll take the leg. You can put the strap around your foot and you can stay here. Or if that's too hard, but there's somewhere in between, you could use a cat or a block and take your foot a little bit higher on your chair. All right, so I'm just gonna stay at this one. You can go where you wanna go here. So you're gonna take the strap around your left. Let's start with the left foot, since I'm this one. Actually, yeah, well, left foot. And we're gonna take a hold of our strap. And we'll start with our right hand on our hip, so I'm not mirroring you on this one. The shoulders are in line with each other, lift the chest. So we're opening up the inner thigh here. So again, just go where you can go. If this is too high, definitely find a spot that's in between. Lift your chest. And if you want, you can take your right arm out. Lift the chest, open up. Engage both legs. So we're rooting down through the standing leg, but we're feeling a big stretch. I'm gonna check in, so you guys stay there. Good. Nice, okay. Now just carefully come out of that. And then we'll set up for the other side. So on this side, I'll use the chair. And I'm gonna take the strap around my right leg. So either way, I mean, I could feel the stretch there. I could feel the stretch here. It just depends on what's going on with your legs. So we're gonna lift the chest. Hands on your hip, left hand on your hip, lift the chest. And then maybe extend the left arm out. And again, you can always build up your chair. If there's somewhere in between, that might work a little better for you. So you have the block here. A little bit higher. All right, let's carefully come out of this. And we'll put our strap away for right now. Now we're going to use the chair for triangle. So I'm going to move mine. So now I'm going to put it on the hardwood floor because I do want it to move. So right now we're standing with a Tadasana with our feet together. And let's just check in here. Let's take this moment to kind of check in through Tadasana. So broaden the shoulder blades, shoulders toward each other, root down through the soles of your feet. And imagine that there's a block there in your inner thighs. So we're pressing our inner thighs into that block. Reach the crown of your head toward the sky and just gaze straight ahead. And then relax. Let's take our feet wide. All right, we're going to take the left toes out, right toes in, and we want the heel to arch alignment of our feet. Arms extend out, lift the chest. So really engage the legs. Reach up through the crown of your head. And then as we exhale, we're going to reach forward and find our chair. And the right hand's going to come on our hip. So root down through both feet. Really place the feet firmly into your mat. And then we're going to slide the chair out to get a little bit more length through that side body. But keep this top shoulder stacked over the bottom. And don't go too far, just go where you can go. You can be on your fingertips on your chair. So we're trying to get the same length here and here, right on both sides. And we'll just stay right here. Keep your hand on your hip. Lift the chest. And then come on up. We'll turn our feet to the other side. All right, Lily, you're going for a ride. I'm gonna take the chair to the other side. She doesn't seem to mind. Okay, so left toes out, right toes in, so you have to move your chair. Or you can turn. I'm just gonna stay facing this way. You can just kind of adjust your chair. All right, arms out. Feet are wide, heel to arch alignment. All right, engage the legs. And then we're gonna reach out. Left hand comes on your hip, right hand on your chair. Stacking your left shoulder over your right. So we get that alignment first, and then you can slide your chair out. So creating that length through the right side. And just go where you can go. Don't force it. Don't go too far where it feels like it's painful. You just want this to feel like a nice stretch. But the legs stay strong. So even though we're kind of feeling this in the side body, we're also feeling this in the legs. And then carefully come up. Step your feet together. Take a breath here. So now we're going to do triangle with our block. So we'll take our feet wide again. We'll take the left toes out. We'll place the block behind our left foot. Right toes in, still that same alignment with our feet. And arms extend out. Nice and wide. Inhale. Exhale, reach out as if you're going for your chair again. With control, we'll take our fingertips onto our block. So there's 3 heights, high, medium, low of your block. And we'll start with our right hand on our hip. So we still want to get that same length, and we're externally rotating this your left leg. And then if you want to, you can extend your right arm. So we're pressing down through the fingertips, reaching up through the fingertips. You can just look straight ahead. Externally rotate that front leg. And rooting down through the back heel. So we're taking the skin of that right heel kind of toward that top edge of our mat. And with control, come up, bring your block with you. We'll switch our feet around to the other side. So the right toes will point forward, left toes in and up. Feet are on the same plane, arms extend out. Lift the chest. Engage your legs here, make them strong. Inhale. So we're rising up through the crown of our head. Exhale, reach out. Find your block. Left hand can come onto your hip for right now. So we're setting up. We're stacking the left shoulder over the right. And then maybe extend your left arm. Engage your legs. Take the skin of your left heel. So you're not really moving the left heel. We're just kind of getting that left heel toward the short edge of your mat, right? And then we're getting this external rotation of the front leg. Lift the chest. And then root down through the soles of your feet. Come all the way up. Bring your feet together. Take Tadasana. Take a couple breaths here. Just hands by your side. Rooting down through the soles of your feet. Lift the chest. Crown of your head rises. Okay, let's take our feet wide again. You can keep the block handy, but we're not going to use it right now. We'll take the left toes out, right toes in again. And we're going to go into warrior 2. So your stance can be a little bit wider because we want to get the front knee over the ankle. Arms extend out. Lift the chest. And the gaze can be over your front fingers. So we're hugging that left hip in as the knee tracks over the middle toe. This back leg is strong. We're getting internal rotation here. And even here, we're taking kind of the skin of that heel toward that short edge of your mat. It's really activating the standing leg, the back leg. And then let's come up and switch sides. Turn the feet the other way. Bend your knee. Arms extend out, lift the chest. Set up first, we're gonna stay here. Warrior two, hug that right hip in. So the idea is to get that knee kind of toward the middle toe. Chest stays lifted, and then the gaze, then we just turn our neck, right? We turn the head toward the front fingertips. So we're not turning the shoulders, we're not twisting through the spine, we're just turning that cervical spine. So we're looking over our front fingertips. Bend deeply into your front knee. And then that back leg is strong. So take the skin of that back heel toward your short edge of your mat. And then straighten the leg, come up, bring your feet together, Tadasana. Take a breath. So starting to feel all of that, right? We're building strength in our legs, low body. All right, so let's go back into warrior two. Let's take our feet wide. Get your block. We're gonna take it in front of our front foot. So the left toes would be the front feet for right now. All right, left toes forward, right toes in and out. And then we're gonna come back into warrior two. Arms extend out, nice and long, reach through the fingertips, lift the chest. Now with control, we don't wanna just drop into it. We wanna, with control, place our fingertips on the block in front of us and then our right hand on our hip. So again, just find the height that's right for you. And you can take your whole hand on here if you want. Now we're gonna hug the left knee and the left shoulder into each other. Right, so really activating the bent knee and the arm. So we're hugging that into each other. And if you want, you can extend your right arm up, just straight up overhead. So hug that left knee and left tricep into each other. So this is where you can really help get that knee over the middle toe, right? So you kind of get an idea of where that's supposed to be for warrior two. Then we're lifting the chest. That back leg is strong. Draw the kneecap up, lift the chest. And then carefully come up, straighten the leg, grab your block. We're gonna bring it over to the other side, switch our feet around. So in front of your foot, right toes forward, arms out, lift the chest. Warrior two, so we bend into the front knee, hug that knee in, so it comes over, hug the hip in, so it comes, your knee tries to track over that middle toe. So kind of get that feeling now, and then as we go into the pose, we can get it there. All right, so let's reach out with control. Place your hand on your block, left hand on your hip. And then we're hugging that right knee and right shoulder or tricep into each other. I think it's probably different based on how tall we are, where your knee is reaching. All right, but we're going to feel that energy, right? With the hugging in, the knees pressing into the triceps pressing into the knee. And then you can extend your left arm up. And then really strengthen that back leg. Root down through the entire foot. You can take that left heel, the skin of your heel, again, toward the edge of your mat. Just, that's a way to kind of engage the leg. And then come on up, bring your block with you. We're gonna switch sides. Now we're gonna do this. If that was easy for you, we'll put the block behind our foot. Or you can do exactly what we just did. Arms out, come into warrior two. Lift the chest. Inhale, exhale. We're gonna take the hand behind our foot on our block. Right hand's on your hip to start. Now we're still hugging that right knee and the arm toward the left knee and the arm toward each other. It's just a little bit different. Then we can take this right arm overhead. If this works for your shoulder, you can turn the thumb up. So we're reaching and we're taking that right heel toward that short edge of our mat. So nice long line here. Now, if this is hard on your shoulders, you can just take your hand back on your hip or just extend it straight here. Or just keep it here. Or here, lots of options. Extended side angle variations. Press through that back heel, lengthen, feel that side body lengthen. And then carefully, with control, come up. Take your block, we're gonna switch sides. Block will come in front or behind your foot, depending on what variation you're doing. Arms out. Check your alignment, make sure they got the heel to arch alignment. Lift your chest, come into warrior two. All right, and we're gonna reach out, take our hand on our block. Left hand's gonna come onto your hip. Stack your left shoulder over your right. And then you can stay here or take your arm overhead. So the armpit is kind of turning in towards your ear. So your thumb's pointing up toward the sky and you're pressing away with that back heel. And if this doesn't work for your shoulders, stay here or here. Lengthen through the side body. Reach through your fingertips if you're extended. Hug the knee and arm in toward each other. And then carefully come up, bring your feet in alignment, and then step your feet together and check in here. Okay. So we're gonna do a balance. But today, I know we did half moon last week. Today we're gonna do tree pose. So you can do, I'm gonna move this slowly. You can do it over with your chair, or you can just do it in the middle of your mat. Now we have the chair like this, just to have it here. Or you can have your wall handy. So let's stand with our feet together into Tadasana. Lift the chest. So we're going to root down through the right foot, and this is where your chair can help. We're going to turn the left knee out and maybe take our foot into a kickstand, maybe onto your shin or the calf, or bring it up in your inner thigh. Somewhere that's comfortable, that's going to work for you. And then find your balance, or stay with your hand on your prop. So finding your balance, you can take your hands to your heart center, really root down through that standing leg. Lift your chest. And if you find a spot to focus on, that usually helps get your balance under control. So if you find you're wobbly, find a focus point. And then once you feel steady, take your arms up. Lift the chest. Draw your belly up, shoulders down, away from your ears. Breathe here. And then carefully come on out, bring your knee forward, place your foot down, take a breath. All right, we're gonna do that on the other side. So now we'll take the right knee out. You can stay right here as a kickstand. There's balance there. Or you can place it on your lower leg or upper leg. And then find your balance. Once you establish your foundation, once you feel like you're supported, then you can extend your arms up. Shoulders down, away from your ears. Lift the chest. Root down through that standing leg. Take the low belly up towards your chest, towards your chin. And breathe. Don't hold your breath. Notice how this feels. Just find your focus. You bring your hands down, bring your knee forward, step your foot down, take a breath here. And just check in. All right. So we're going to use our chair again. And I'm going to put part of it on my mat. So you want the chair facing you. If I think you've all been using a chair today. So you can use your chair. You can always use a couple blocks here too, but I'm going to demonstrate with the chair. So we were in pyramid a little earlier. So we're going to do the same thing. Take the right foot forward, left foot back. So just like we did before in pyramid pose. We're going to draw that right hip back, left hip forward. Now we're going to add twisted triangle to this. We're going to take the left hand underneath our nose, kind of the center of the chair, and we're going to twist over to the right. So you can start with your right hand on your hip. Stack the right shoulder over the left. And we're, again, just like before, we're going to draw the heel, the left heel, back toward the short edge of our mat. And if this feels easy for you, maybe you can extend your right arm up. Lift the chest. Engage your legs, strong legs. We're drawing that right hip back. Hold it here. One more breath. And then carefully come on down. Switch your feet around. Right leg will go back, left leg forward. So setting up for pyramid to start. And we're going to take our right hand in the center of our chair. And we're going to twist over to the left. So we'll start with the left hand on our hip. Stack the left shoulder over the right. Take that left hip back. And then maybe extend your left arm up. Draw the left hip back. Take the skin of that right heel toward the back edge of your mat. And then come on back down. Step your feet back. Come back into downward facing dog. Get a big stretch here. Take the pubic bone toward the tailbone. Walk towards your chair. You can push the chair away. Come on down and take child's pose. Take your knees wide. Take your tailbone down towards your heels. And take a few breaths here in child's pose. All right, let's come on back up onto your hands and knees. You can come through downward facing dog, maybe even get a big stretch here. Walk your feet together. Take your hands by your hips, come all the way up. So we're going to do that again, but this time we are going to use our blocks instead of the chair. So we'll just have one block, or you might want two. But let's start with the right foot forward, left foot back. Hands on our hips. So we're going back into twisted triangle. This time you can have your block on the inside of your right foot. Take the left shoulder slightly forward so that left hip is coming forward. We're going to inhale the left arm up. Exhale, hinge forward, take your hand on your block. Now you can use your chair again if that was easy and you liked that. So either way is fine. So we're twisting over to the right. We're going to stack the right shoulder over the left. Take that left heel toward the back edge of your mat. And then if you want to, extend your right arm up. Draw that right hip back. So notice what's going on with your left hip, left heel. Sometimes I need to pick up my left foot and move it over a little bit more to get the heel down. And then carefully come on up, take your hands on your hips, come up, and we'll switch our feet around. Hands on our hips, we'll take the right hip forward, lift the chest. Now the block is still next to your left foot, so move it over if you need to, if it's not already there. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, hinge forward. We're going to place our hand down onto our block. Stack the left shoulder over the right. Check in here. If this feels easy, you can stay there or take your left arm up. And then draw that left hip back. Take that right heel toward the back edge of your mat. Engage your legs. And then carefully come down, hands on your hips, step your feet together, and come back to Tadasana. Take a breath. So that's a challenging pose, right? Because we're twisting, there's some balance there. It's not necessarily the easiest pose in the world. Plus, there's a lot of leg work. So we're going to do one more standing pose. And I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to take the chair. I guess I'll take the chair this way, right here. One more time, Lily. All right. So I did it the other way last week, but I'm going to try it this way. So we're going to come into Prasarita. So from Tadasana, take your feet wide. All right. Take your feet wide, just like we always do in Prasarita. Start with your hands on your hips. Lift your chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep the chest lifted. Now we're going to hinge from the hip bones. We're going to come forward, take our hands on our chair, and then press the chair. Press the chair forward. So this is not really working with my setup, but hopefully it worked for yours. I think I'll come back this way now that I've demonstrated that. So same thing, we're gonna take the chair and slide it forward. All right, same idea, we're lengthening through the side. Same idea as in down dog, just our legs are a little wider. We're getting that length through the side body. And we take the pubic bone toward the tailbone to get that length. Draw the shoulder blades toward each other. You can even try to slide your chair a little bit more, but not so far that you're going to feel like you're falling forward. Just to get that length through the side. I'm going to check in. Stay there. And then slowly take your hands back on your hips. Come on up. All the way up. Step your feet together. Find Tadasana. All right. Let's take a big inhale. Reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, let's step back to downward facing dog with our hands on our mat. And then shift forward, come into child's pose again. Take a couple breaths here. Walk your hands over to the right. You can take your left hand on top of your right. Feel that side body stretch. Come back to center and over to the left. And then back to center. Take your hands under your shoulders, come onto your hands and knees, and let's have a seat. So let's take our legs out in front of us. You might want to sit up on a blanket. Legs are extended. Bend your left knee. And you can stay right here. You can just leave your foot like this, or you can cross your foot over. And some of you might want to even slide your right leg underneath. So whatever really works for your hips and your legs, that's all going to be fine. Then we're going to twist over to the right, I'm sorry, to the left. So let's take our left hand behind us. And then you can hug your left knee in and twist, or you can extend your right arm up and then take the elbow to the outside of your knee, lengthen through the crown of your head, just like we did earlier in our twist, right? We're going to lengthen as we inhale, and as we exhale, twist. Inhale, press through the left hand, lengthen through your spine, and then as you exhale, twist. And one more time, inhale, lengthen, exhale, and twist. And then come on back to center. Take both legs out, sit up nice and tall. Now we'll bend the right knee. And again, the options stay here, cross it over, maybe take your foot underneath. And we'll twist over to the right. So the right hand comes behind us, and you can hug your knee in and twist here, or you can extend your left arm up, take the elbow to the outside of the knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, grow your spine long. Exhale, twist. So we're twisting through the lumbar spine, right? Inhale, one more time, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And then come on back to center. And then come onto your backs. Get your strap. Make sure I mute my phone for some reason. All right, come onto your backs. Jesus. All right, my fingerprint's not working. All right, we're gonna get our strap. And then if you want to, you can go back to your wall. Or not, don't worry about it if you're not near a wall. We're gonna take the strap around the right heel. Left leg goes long, maybe it's at your wall. And then we're gonna take both ends of the strap into our left, so now we're gonna stretch out our legs. Both ends of the strap into our left hand. Right leg is long and active, right? The right leg pressing into your wall, the toes are pointing up, and if you don't have a wall, you're still flexing through your heel. Let's take the right thumb into our right hip crease, lift the chest, inhale, exhale, take your right heel over in line with your left shoulder. Lift the chest. Take the low belly up towards your chin. Press that right thumb away. So we're creating traction in the hip, stretching through the hamstrings, the back of the leg, and that left leg is strong. So we're turning that left pinky toe up toward the sky. Lift the chest. Now you stay right here if you want, or if you want to, you can take your leg over a little bit farther to the left and take your right arm out. One more breath. Lift the chest. And then inhale, bring your leg up. And we'll switch sides. So take the strap around the left foot, take your right leg long. Both ends of the strap come into your right hand. Right leg's either at the wall or your foot, and your toes are pointing straight up. Left thumb into your left hip crease. Now lift your chest, draw the shoulders down. Press your left thumb into your hip crease and press that thigh bone away. And then we'll take the left heel in line with our right shoulder. Press that left thigh away. Flex through both feet. Lift the chest. One more breath like this. And then you're welcome to just stay right here or take your leg over to the right even more and extend your left arm out. So that right foot will just splay out. Don't worry so much about the right leg if you're going all the way over. Big stretch through the left leg. Inhale, bring your leg up. Bend the knee, remove the strap. And we'll switch back over to the right side. And use a blanket or a block here if you'd like. I'm gonna put it right underneath my right hip. Both ends of the strap come into your left hand. Left leg goes long, maybe to the wall. Lift your chest. Inhale, take your left hand on your left hip bone. And as you exhale, open your right leg out to the right. Left leg is active. We're taking that left knee, the left inner thigh down toward the floor. As we're turning that left pinky toe up, helps us get there. And we pull the left hip down with our left hand. Lift your chest. Big stretch through the inner thigh. Take your low belly up towards your chin. Try to get your shoulders underneath your chest. You're lifting your chest. And that left leg is long and active. Press into your strap as you pull your strap into your heel. Stay here. Now inhale, bring your foot up and remove the strap and switch sides. So if you use a prop underneath your hip, take it over to the other side. Right leg goes long. Both ends of the strap into your left hand. We'll start with our right hand on our right hip bone. Lift your chest, inhale, and as you exhale, take your leg over to the left. Right hand pulls it, right hip down, your right inner thigh, your right knee are turning down toward the floor. Lift your chest. Pull down on your strap as you press into your strap. Lift the chest. Get a big stretch through the inner thigh. We work the legs a lot today, so now we're just stretching them. And then take an inhale, bring your leg up, remove your strap. And then put the strap over to the side and any other props. All right. So let's bend the knees. Slide your right foot over to the right. Let the right knee drop in towards your left foot. And you can stay here or maybe take your left foot on your right thigh. Then we check our alignment. Take the right knee in line with our right shoulder, lower it back down. And if you want to add on the upper attachment of your psoas, reach your right arm overhead. Take a hold of your right wrist with your left thumb and forefinger. Lift the chest. Drag your left heel down your right thigh. Maybe pull a little bit more on your right wrist to get that length. So we're opening up right through the quadricep, up through the psoas. And if your arm is overhead, we get into that upper attachment of the psoas. The psoas inserts right at the, oh dear, I haven't said this one. I think the top of the lumbar spine, and then it attaches to each vertebrae and then wraps around and inserts into the hip. So when it's tight, it pulls on your low back. So this is one of those muscles that we open to keep our backs happy. Well, let's switch sides. So we can bring the knees up. We're going to slide the left foot over and let that left knee drop in toward your right foot. And then if this feels easy, you can take your right foot on your left thigh, but then check your alignment. Make sure your knee and shoulder are in line with each other. And if you want, you can add on. Take that left arm overhead. Take a hold of your left wrist with your thumb and forefinger. Really getting a nice long line right from the left knee right up to the left wrist. Lift your chest. And then let's come out of that. Bring your knees back up. We'll let the right knee drop over to the right. Tuck your right foot behind your left heel. So you got this external rotation of your right hip going on right here. And this is it. I mean, it's externally rotating. You're getting that stretch. You can stay right here. Or maybe you can add on. You can take your left heel in front of your right shin and let your left knee drop out. So that's going to add the other hip. Or some of you might want to take your left foot onto your right thigh and let that left knee drop out. Now, if you're in this position, you want to flex both feet. And your hands can stay here on your belly, or you can reach your arms overhead, adding the upper attachment again. You can always hold on to your opposite elbows as well if that feels more comfortable, or even take your arms wide. Kind of figure out what you want to do with your arms if they're overhead. There's nothing wrong with keeping your hands on your belly either. Just want to keep the chest lifted. So even here, we can scoot the shoulders underneath the chest. Keep the chest lifted. And then we'll switch sides. Come on out of that. Both knees point up. Let the left knee drop over to the left. Stay here or add on. You can take the heel in front of your right heel, in front of your left shin. For Sukhasana, legs, and this might be good for you. Or you can go into double pigeon with your right foot on your left thigh and let that right knee drop out. Hands can stay on your belly or go overhead. The chest. Breathe here. Nice deep breaths. Keep both feet flexed if you're in double pigeon. And let's bring our knees up. Hug the knees into your chest. Just take a breath here. Just rock from side to side a couple times. Keeping your tailbone on the mat. So just gonna rock from side to side. Feel a massage in the low back. And then take your right knee over your left knee. Hug your knees in. If you want, you can slide your hands down to your ankles. Gently pull your ankles away from each other. Lift your chest here. And then maybe take your knee slightly over to the left. Stretching out through the piriformis. You're going to feel this in that right butt cheek. Keep the chest lifted. And then uncross, switch sides. Left knee's going to come over the right. Hug your knees in. Maybe slide your hands to your ankles. Flex your feet. Gently pull your feet away from each other. Uh-oh. Hopefully. Okay, we're good. And then go ahead, uncross. Sorry, my iPad's saying that I have 10% of battery left. It's really draining it lately. I'm gonna have to figure out how to keep it plugged in during the class. Okay, so let's, I have a backup though, so even if that goes, I should be good on my laptop. So let's go ahead and just bend your knees. Let's take our feet on the mat. Let's take our arms out to the side. Scoot your hips over to the right. Take your right leg over your left and go into your twist over to your left. So just take your knees over to the left. Extend your right arm out. Lift your chest. And breathe here. It's a nice twist. And then bring your knees up, uncross. Scoot your hips over to the left. Cross the left over the right, and we're going to twist over to the right. Left arm can extend out. Lift the chest. And then bring your knees up, uncross. Hug your knees into your chest. Take your forehead to your knees. Give yourself a big hug. And then we'll find Shavasana. So take your legs long. Maybe just put roll a blanket up underneath your knees. Or pillow will work. Or you can take your feet to the edges of your mat and bring your knees together. Or maybe you can, we all had a chair or something today. You can take your legs up onto your chair. So you scoot up. And then, this is nice too. My cat does not like this, but I'm not staying here long. I know, Lily, sorry. So wherever you want to go with your Shavasana, once you get there, just scan your body. Check and see if there's anything else you're still holding on to. And then just let that go. Relax your jaw, soften your temples. Relax your fingers, relax your toes. And then let your entire body just melt into the earth beneath you. And I will ring the chimes 3 times when it's time to come out of Shavasana. So just take this opportunity to let everything go. You can begin to awaken your body. Start to bring movement into your fingers and your toes. Deepen your breath. Reach your arms overhead, get a big stretch. And then when you're ready, make your way over to one side. And then come up to a comfortable seated position. You can sit here for another breath or two with your eyes closed. Just notice how you're feeling. How are you feeling since you got on your mat this morning? So maybe feeling a little more open, maybe a little longer. Right? We did a lot of side body stretches, maybe even just a little lighter. Take your hands to your heart center and give yourself a big thank you for all this great work that you're doing for your body and your mind and your spirit as well. And I thank you all so much for joining me and all of us this morning. Have a great weekend. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. You can unmute yourselves. I think I got like a breath here left.
Thank you.
I'm going to unmute
Thank you,
Karen.
Karen.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Karen, that was great.